Hey guys, what's up? This is David from Common RDW here, and welcome to another episode of the Commentary Podcast, the geeky nerdy show for geeky and nerdy people. I'm your host, David, and I have two awesome members of Team RDW here on panel with me. We got Connor.
Yo!
And we got Jameer.
Yeah, boy.
And it's a cool day. It's a good day. First Monday of December. That means we got like 3 more in the year before the old 2020 starts.
Jesus.
About to be in the 20s, man.
Yo, 2020 is my year.
We got
Feels
4
away.
Mondays, actually.
We got 4 Mondays? Oh, yeah,
4
that's a long
Mondays.
month. Full month. But yeah,
4 Mondays.
we're about to be in a new decade, bro. It's crazy. Feels wild. We did it.
Because I need 19 to be over.
We need 2019 to be over.
I need to be over, gone, done with.
I think 2019 was a pretty good year for me, actually. That's pretty
You're
good
moving,
year.
yeah. Connor, you're moving too fast, bro. You gotta slow down.
Pretty good year. But before I get ahead of myself, actually, let's start with some introductions. First off, we are Team RDW from the channel Conman RDW, which is a brand that I started doing YouTube on a couple years back. I've been doing geeky nerdy content on there, from anime conventions, gaming videos, reviews, event-based stuff, all that. But it was too much for just me to be doing by myself. So I got some cool friends that I have to join me in making this a whole thing. So now I have a whole bunch of hands on deck now, and we're able to do stuff like having a podcast every week. So we are actually on Spotify and iTunes. So if you're listening to this on iTunes, give us that good 5-star review. If you're on Spotify, hit that subscribe button, and you're going to get more podcasts every single week. We're almost on a streak. They say if you hit 7 podcasts, you're going to keep going for a while because you're in a habit. So hopefully we can keep that going. Even if there's nothing to talk about, we'll make up stuff to talk about, goddammit. And then also we're on all the social media platforms. We're on Twitch, we're streaming, we got people doing stuff. I just finished playing Sea of Thieves with my friend Jerome, who is also on Team RDW before we started recording this podcast. We have the YouTube channel, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on all that good stuff. So follow us on those social media platforms. Boom! Opening done. Now, one cool thing about the Commentary Podcast is that there's a lot of us on the team, therefore we like to shuffle around people, and hearing different voices every week can get confusing. You don't know who's on the show. So we like to do panel icebreakers at the beginning of every episode, so you guys can get to know us, who we are, and you'll probably get to recognize our voices later on down the line. So the panel icebreaker for this week, because Black Friday and Thanksgiving were last week, now that holiday rush is over, the worst part of the holiday rush is over. What did you guys get for Black Friday?
Jameer, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I actually forgot about Black Friday until it was Black Friday, and so I spent a lot of time. The only thing I probably can really think about I went to GameStop and got Catherine because it was on sale.
Good game.
I got Catherine full body. If you don't know it, look it up. It's by Atlas Games. Check it out. It's great. And yeah, that was a good deal. It was for I think it was like $30. GameStop had that promo for like.
That's like 50%. You got the Steelbook too, right?
Yeah, actually, I got the day one launch edition.
Yeah, and I don't even think that was supposed to happen. They just always had that
wasn't.
copy.
And like my boyfriend actually saw it and was like, "Aren't you looking for this?" I was like, "Oh, let's go." And then we just left.
Yeah.
And cool. Yeah, that was about it. I didn't really have much to look for from Black Friday because I really didn't know what to get. There's nothing like this year that game-wise I can really
If you don't
care
need
about.
any hardware, honestly, Black Friday is a really weird spot because you're just like, oh, I want to grab a couple games on sale. Hopefully get them physical if I can't get them digitally.
I hope, in the near future when Black Friday sales happen, I hope there's like a sale on food.
Oh, like grocery stores?
Just grocery store sale.
Honestly, that's
think about it. Think about it when you got, because it's the day after Thanksgiving, dude. So imagine all the food that's gonna go bad, dude. Put that on sale.
Right?
People want that.
And
I think turkeys go on sale for a couple of days.
Dude, fuck the turkeys. Give me some real food, bro.
Hey! You watch out with a turkey. Turkey's real food.
It's real food, but like it's the real food the day before Black
You need
Friday.
some greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Which I was actually really sad because we didn't have mashed potatoes at my in-laws this year, which was wild as shit.
Actually, then again, yeah, at Black family stuff, you don't really see a whole bunch of mashed potatoes. At least I haven't. I rarely see mashed potatoes.
Why is that? What?
It's so weird. It's a staple. It's supposed to be there.
Yeah, it's not like really one of the first things you think of when you think of soul food, mashed potatoes.
That's true, though. I ain't gonna lie about that. It's really not the first thing you think about.
Usually get the dressing, the mac and cheese, the greens, and the sweet potatoes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally the entire. That's actually that's pretty much about it.
That's it. Yep.
That's it.
Oh, but also, Connor, what did you get for Black Friday? I know you went out, got some stuff too.
I don't have the stacks of cash this time around. So I had one thing in mind. I wanted Ni no Kuni for the Switch. It was on sale at Walmart for $30, normally about $50. So I got it for $20 off. And weirdly enough, there's one scent of deodorant I really like, and I always buy it around this time, and I buy it in bulk. So I got 5 of them on sale for like $3 each.
That's the most adult thing you could have ever fucking said, Connor. I got one video game and deodorant.
I mean, dude, you know how like awesome like that is. Like you be like, I mean, we're all adults. We know how this works.
Yeah.
There's so many like small adult things where I'm like, oh my god, I can smell better. I can feel good physically. That's good. I'm living right. All the other stuff can come later. It'll get there.
Yeah.
It always pops up when it needs to.
You know you're reaching adulthood when you put soap on your Black Friday to buy list.
Right.
Dude, give me like an extra pair of socks, dude.
Yeah. Ooh.
Major socks, dude, man. Like give me like a pack of like 20 socks, cause like
getting some pajama pants on sale. Yeah.
And then my Thanksgiving was pretty good. So I'm originally from Texas, but it's really expensive to fly this time of year, especially because I'm still in college. I had school on Wednesday, so I couldn't go anywhere. But I went with my girlfriend and her family, and their Thanksgiving is a little interesting. So they're entirely Mexican family, 100%.
Okay.
All of them are Mexican, right? Even though growing up in Texas, there's a lot of Mexican culture. What I don't realize is such a staple for them on Thanksgiving is tamales. Like, we made the mashed potatoes, we made the mac and cheese, we made all the accoutrements of like what Thanksgiving is. But then there was like 400 tamales.
Dude, that sounds fire. I love tamales.
It was amazing. They even had sweet tamales. I'd never had a sweet tamale before, and it was amazing. There's this like coconut and raisin one, and then they had a pineapple one that was really good.
I should probably ask Danielle to make me a plate one day. Shit, that sounds good.
It was so good. We brought it home at, I think like, we ourselves brought like 15 tamales back. Like everyone got a Ziploc bag of tamales to take home.
That sounds delicious.
But I also cooked for the second time ever for Thanksgiving. Last year was my first time. This year I was in charge of mashed potatoes. Let me tell you.
Yeah, Connor's mashed potatoes are flame.
Mexican family. There's a lot. I made 20 pounds of mashed potatoes.
Oh my god. Oh, that's why you said your wrist started hurting because of that, right?
I was cooking for literally 3.5 hours for mashed potatoes.
But think about how much your arms are like thankful.
I could have done that with Ring Fit and made some progression, but honestly, those mashed potatoes came out so good. I got this thing called a potato ricer.
Yeah,
you put hot potato in it.
It's like the potato thing, or you squeeze it, right?
Yeah, you squeeze it. It's like a garlic press, but for potatoes. And it made the job a whole lot easier.
I mean, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then for my Black Friday, I didn't really have too many things I wanted to get this year. Like with Connor, I was like a little strapped for cash. But also, like I said earlier, if you're not looking for hardware, you don't really spend that much money on Black Friday. Like I didn't need any new TVs. I didn't need any game systems or anything, even though the PlayStation 4 bundle was actually pretty flame this year. Like
I know,
PS4 Slim. Some places had pros, PS4 Pro, plus Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, and I think Uncharted. No.
No, it wasn't Uncharted. It was
Horizon, God of War, and Last of Us.
If you haven't played Horizon, you're sleeping because that game is so good.
I actually picked it up. That was one of the games I got for my Black Friday shopping. I got
That's
Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition because it was $10 with the PlayStation hits, and then I got Indivisible, which is a game I've been waiting for. It's made by Lab Zero, who are the people who made Skullgirls, which is a great fighting game. This game's been in production for like the last 3-4 years, and it's finally out.
About not 3. It's been about maybe 6.
It's been a minute. Oh, it's even worse. Yeah, it's been out.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute trying to fund that game.
So I finally got my copy, so I'm gonna play that at some point soon. And then I also got Ni no Kuni for Switch as well. So got my fair share of games. I don't even know why I bought stuff because my backlog's already so stupidly big anyway.
Same. I'm still in the middle of finishing Astral Chain.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Wait, Connor, you
so
haven't finished
they'll
that
get
yet?
paid one day.
No.
I thought you were done with that ages ago.
I'm like, what's dumb is I think I'm like probably 5 straight hours away from it just being
You
done.
don't finish games in 2019. You just finish a game to where you're satisfied with owning it, and then you get another game and stack the stack. That's how you go.
No,
Oh,
I
that's.
finished
Oh, I
a
You
guess.
couple
keep
games
going.
this year.
You
I
keep
guess
going.
I guess that means Pokemon Sword is going on the stack.
It is. It honestly is.
Oh, I'm so ready for that game. That's what I want for
It's
Christmas. That's my
literally-
wish list.
I got like 3 gyms in, and then something else came out, and I was like, well, okay. So
You wanna let a brother borrow it?
honestly, I wouldn't mind, to be honest.
Me or you, me or Dave. I don't really care, Connor. Like once
Yeah.
I
Wait,
finish it,
shit, I can borrow that from you tomorrow? No, wait, I got finals coming up. Do not give me that game right now.
All right,
Exactly.
I'm coming to your door right now, Connor.
I hate you.
Knock on the door. Take this shit.
I'm not going to knock on the door. I'm going to throw it at the door.
But yeah. Oh, and as far as my Thanksgiving went, so like since I've gotten older, my mom doesn't really like pull out a whole feast like she used to, because that's shit's exhausting, and I understand completely. Like, who wants to
Help
cook
her.
from 6
Do it with her.
a.m. to like 9 p.m.
Oh no.
So it's like she's been chilling on. She like cooks maybe like a turkey and like maybe one side or two just for like around the house, but it's like we don't really make a huge spectacle of it, or at least we haven't in the last recent years. But this year actually, I went out with my girlfriend Aisha, and we went with her family to this buffet place that was open on Thanksgiving, and they had like a whole spread that had a whole bunch of Thanksgiving foods. But they actually had like jerk chicken at this place. And that's actually really
What?
good jerk chicken. So I had jerk chicken, really good dressing, mac and cheese, and mashed potatoes, and they had like really good pie. And yeah, I ate so much I was just in pain the whole rest of the night. I was just like, I'm tired. I don't want to go to sleep, but I also need to go out and buy some. Oh, I also got a 5 terabyte hard drive too, external hard drive too. That's something I really needed to get. It was on sale
Nice.
for like 90, so I needed like a 5 terabyte.
I need a dude. I need a.
No, wait, is it Thunderbolt or is it USB 3?
It's a USB 3.
Don't edit from it.
Too
Like-
late.
No, do you know what I mean by edit from it?
Oh, like have the video files on it and then just.
Don't let the directory on Premiere be from that, because what you're gonna end up having is some lag issues inside of Premiere itself.
Oh, it's been working fine so far.
Shocked.
Yeah, it's been working.
I guess we're not
decent
dealing
for
with
me.
4K yet, so maybe
Yeah,
that's not...
that's for sure what it is. I remember I went
Yeah.
to 4K video once and that did not work.
Oh,
But
fuck yeah.
1080 is fine for it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I really needed that external hard drive. So now I have like 2 terabytes and 1 5 terabyte. So I got to move some memory around with those to get all that settled. But yeah,
Oh, I broke a
good
hanger.
Thanksgiving though. Good Thanksgiving. Everyone got to eat. Everyone got to sleep. Everyone got to chill. So good times.
Everyone deserves to eat.
Everyone deserves to eat.
Don't forget that.
And that's basically the icebreaker. But also, you guys gotta know what we've been playing and what we've been watching recently. That's another thing we like to do in the beginning of these icebreakers. So I'll start. What have I been playing recently? I have been jumping between so many damn games. I need to figure out one to stick with. So I got the games I said I got for Black Friday. So I started up Horizon Zero Dawn. I played for like 3 hours or so.
Which, by the way, you need to maybe not complete it 100%, but you should, because it's like a really good
I want to
ending.
play through the whole story at least. Like,
The
I wanna
story,
see how
you
that
don't need the
goes.
side stuff. Just do the story, because it's such an amazing
Yeah, I know.
storyline and lore.
I know it seems really good. Also, I heard good things about it. I just haven't really been paying attention because I wanted to play it myself one day. So now I'm doing that. Got like 3 hours into that. I played maybe 3 hours of Ni no Kuni. I also rented freaking Link's Awakening, and I've been playing that a lot today. I'm like 2.5 dungeons in on that. I think there's maybe 7 dungeons in that game. I honestly wouldn't mind just knocking that out really quick because that seemed like that's the shorter of all the games I could play right now. Because I rented that from my local family video. Shout out. And then also I have been playing. Oh, I played Sea of Thieves because I got the Xbox Game Pass for PC today through a Discord deal. It was like pay $10 for Xbox Game Pass. Well, pay $10 to boost your Discord account, and then you get 3 months of Game Pass for free. So it's
Ooh,
like $10 for 3 months. That's really good. So I got that, and because of that, I got Sea of Thieves, and I was playing with Jerome, and that game is hilarious.
hilarious! Oh my god, I cannot
Hilarious.
wait to see
That
you two
game
stream
is
that again.
quality multiplayer gameplay, dude. Great streaming game. Me and Jerome are probably going to be streaming that a lot for the next couple months. And then, as far as what I've been watching, I got Disney Plus, so I've been watching a lot of DuckTales. The 2017 version, not the old one. I hate the old one. The new one's delicious though. It's a great show. You should watch it. Um, and then also I watched Toy Story 4 with Aisha yesterday. So that was actually a really good movie. As far as the ranking, I put it with all the other movies. I'd say my favorites are 3, 1, 4, 2. Not that it's worse than 1, but 1 is just such an important movie. It's just best ending, best beginning, and then the next one, and then 2. So that's how I'd rank those. And then I also have Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home. I gotta watch that. I'm probably gonna watch that after we're done recording.
Great movie.
So yeah, that's my stuff. What about you, Jameer?
Ooh, it came straight to me. Okay. So I actually just finished. I spent like a good month. Well, about not a good month. About a month. About a good 5 weeks. I was playing. I was playing Judgment. It's sponsored by Sega or whoever made it. It's like if you ever played the Yakuza games, it's like that.
Oh yeah, same.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and so it's basically like you're running around as this ex-lawyer who is now a detective trying to figure out who the mole is behind these secret killings in the city of Kamurocho. And it's actually pretty wild because there are times where it's a pretty long game. There's a lot of side missions to do, but honestly, it's probably one of my favorite games to come out this year because I didn't think the turnaround for plot could be so thick, and with each chapter you get more and more detail about how the plot progression goes. It feels like Yakuza meets Ace Attorney,
Mhm.
and it's just that funny, and it's really funny. It's comedic. It's very serious, and the plot is very well written. They actually had real life lawyers help on the project for this. So
Ooh, nice.
all the cases and the plot points are all actual fact things, and it's a good game. I'd say give it a run through if you ever get a chance to play it. It's definitely worth the
About how
time.
many hours
Uh,
was it?
Um, I didn't check, but I think I was roughly about maybe 60 hours,
Jeez.
Oh,
Okay.
60 or 70. I mean, I took a while. I mean, there's a lot of things to do. There are a lot of gangs in the cities that you get to mess around with. You got to fight. You get to interact with strangers. There's a lot of small things that are very important that add up to bigger things in the city. There's a lot to do.
that's kind of
Okay.
like my standard for buying a game. Is I have to get like 60 hours minimum out of the game if I'm really gonna pay money for it.
I mean, the other thing is that maybe I just invest 60 hours in it. If you play everything in the game, you get around roughly 60 or 80 hours if you really want to get through everything. It's a game that doesn't take that roughly that long. I will tell you this: going through, it's like a 13 chapter game. There are it's like episodes, but there's stagnant points that if you play it, you go away for a while, you get through chapter one, and you get to chapter one. When you get to chapter two, they give you a previously on this series,
Oh,
and
that's
they
cool.
update you on everything. So if you go away for a while, you come back, it's there.
I like when
It'll,
games
it'll
do that.
update you on exactly where you left off, what the plot point was, what was going on, and then you get thrown right back into it. And
Nice.
that's lovely. I think that was great. Me and Kevin right now are doing. Kevin's my boyfriend. For those who are listening, we're doing this thing where we both pick 5 games that we've never played before, and we play them. And so he gets to pick my 5 games. I get to pick his 5 games, and we just get through each one. And it's been like a slow, rough challenge right now because right now he was gonna start. He actually just started Final Fantasy 15 because he's never played it, but he's been interested in playing them.
I still need to play that damn game.
And then as soon as he started playing that, Jedi Fallen Order came out.
Oh.
So completely got thrown out the window.
Mhm.
But he's gonna come back to it. He's been jumping in between of some other stuff, but he's doing that. But right now, we put the challenge on hold until he finishes that. And I think I'm debating on what to play next because there are a couple of games. I mean, I just bought Catherine, so that's definitely on my list of games to play.
And that's an Atlas game, so you already know it's gonna.
Yeah,
Well,
it's another Atlas
actually,
game. So...
finishing it 100% and getting each storyline, that's what takes long. But finishing one run maybe takes like 8
Well,
hours.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
played the original Catherine, so
Yeah.
I'm a huge challenge guy, so it'll take me a minute, especially with knowing how each
Especially with all
dungeon
the
in the game
different
is.
endings and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that it's either I have a list that I'm deciding to go through right now. It was either going to be Catherine, it was going to be Dot Hack GU. That was going to run through the entire 4-episode series. Because I love Dot Hack, and it was to me, now that it's remastered, I would love to sit through the series again because to me, it's one of the founding RPG games that stayed stagnant for so long in the same price range as how Nintendo keeps $60 games running. It was one of those games that stayed $60 until it got remastered, but it still went up in price because it was originally on PS2.
Yeah.
And it's a game I would recommend you guys play. It's really great.
It's on my list.
It's well, I found out there's a physical copy now, so you can go find it anywhere. So it's that, Catherine, That Hack, Death Stranding is still on my list. Or I'm gonna play
Did you buy it?
No, I did not. It's actually sitting in my cart. I have yet to just press the okay. And I still need to play Sekiro because I didn't play it.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah, so it's really hard right now. I have not made a decision on what to do yet. I will make some sort of decision by the end of this week.
You got a good backlog going.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, it's on to you. What have you been doing?
Console games have not been on my priority list as of late, just because I'm never really home. I'm generally at my girlfriend's or in school buildings doing work, but I have been playing Teamfight Tactics on League of Legends and trying to get into that. That is a wild game. It's I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it because it takes a minute to learn it. You can't just hop in and be like, oh, this is how it works. You really gotta watch some videos, read some guides, have a cheat sheet off to the side to understand the game. But once you get there, if you're a strategist like me, it's fun. I've also been playing Battlegrounds and Hearthstone and just doing my dailies because a new expansion is coming out. I forgot the name of it, but it's dragons based, and I love dragons, so I've been grinding to get as much gold as I can. Because normally, what happened in past years is I'd happen to have the money when a new expansion dropped, so I'd spend that $80 on the 100 packs and all the bonuses. But I can't this time, and my only hope of that happening is once in a while my best friend Wes for Christmas, because they always come out with an expansion around Christmas every year since it come out. So he just
gifts you packs from that?
He's actually gifted me the entire maximum.
Jesus Christ! Isn't that $100?
No. It's only 80. I mean, that's still a lot, but
that's not bad.
It's for a card
for a whole thing. So that guarantees you get every card, and that's it.
No, It gives you 100 packs. Okay. Which at 100 packs with the rate they have legendaries now, I think that's 8 legendaries. But the cool thing is, the reason I love Hearthstone is because the economy is amazing. So you'll get a crap ton of duplicates, then you'll be getting dust, and then you can go and make the cards that you really need. So what I always do is when the new expansion comes out, I get the 100 pack, I get all the dust, and I let it ride for 3 weeks and see what the meta is. And then I'm like, okay, these are the top 3 decks that I would love to play. Let's go and make them. And then I'll go try to get as far into ranked as I possibly can. Which at this point, out of the, I guess, 4 or 5 years I've been playing, the farthest I've gone in rank is rank 4.
Okay.
But
baby. As I said, I got Ni no Kuni, and I was playing Ring Fit Adventure for a while, but I fucked up my leg playing that game. So I've been in a boot for about 2 weeks now.
I was going hard at it, and his body was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Honestly, the doctor's like, "Hey, have you taken up running?" I'm like, "Well, I got this thing called Ring Fit Adventure, and you've been running in place." Then how much running in place? Oh, I don't know, maybe 0.8 miles or something like that a day. Dude, You need to calm down. Apparently, I was fairly close at that time to snapping my ACL.
Yeah. Also, I would say like running in place for sure like is different on your body than actually running
Yeah,
because you have to
which
like control because you're more like bouncing than
yeah,
like actually moving forward. So
I
yeah.
feel
I
like
mean,
that's where the core of that cardio burn. The
well,
calorie burn is.
the other thing about that though, Connor, is that it's literally just the shifting of your weight from one side of the body to the other, and it also determines on how when you shift weight from one side to the other and you're switching legs, are you landing on the middle on the flat part of your foot? Is your
Or
foot
on the
landing,
side of the foot.
or are you on the side of your foot or on the heel of the ball? How are you landing your feet on the ground? Because if you're doing
Yeah.
that consistently and you're not paying attention to it and you know something is wrong and you keep doing it,
Yeah.
you're going to break something eventually.
Yeah, and stretching was the big part about that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's basically what I've been playing. Is those? Oh, and when I get a chance, I also stream this War of Mine, which I've played it for the first time. At this point, I'm on day 25 and still haven't died yet. Like one character did die, sad moment, rest in peace. But
Jesus.
we're still going with that. So I'm gonna hopefully stream it again in January, and I'm just gonna stream until it's game over.
Yeah, he's doing better than me. A lot better than me.
I mean, they're both doing better than me. I can't stream.
Sometime.
We'll get there.
Eventually.
We're going to get there.
Soon.
We're going to get there.
But
We might get there by Christmas, actually.
hopefully.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
But yeah, that's basically what we've been up to, and hopefully by hearing all of us talk about stuff we're passionate about and things that we've been doing, you now kind of have a feel of who we are, and you can now identify our voices in a crowd and all that good stuff. So now we are actually going to move on to RDW Updates. All right, RDW Updates. Things that we've been doing as Team RDW, things that have been going on behind the scenes, progression we're making, etc., etc. So Connor apparently is going to have a winter stream week in January?
Yeah, so second week of January, I have no school. I'm here in Chicago. My girlfriend is in school, and I have nothing planned other than, I believe, the opening that we're going to talk about later. So I'm a guy who likes to experience things, and I want to feel what it's like to be a streamer as a job. What, like, the fatigue of it, do I still enjoy video games at the end of it, or does it feel like it's just
Is it
doing
actually gonna
something
feel
to
like
do
work?
something? Yeah, it doesn't feel like work at the end of the day. So what I'm going to try to do is from Monday to Friday, the second week of January, is I'm going to stream 6 hours a day.
You should split that up 3 and 3. Don't do
Yeah,
it 6
3 and
hours
3.
straight
So I'm going
through.
to do a 3-hour stream, take a break for a little bit, relax, and 3-hour stream. And each
That's
stream is
cool.
going to be a different game. So maybe I'll see about getting 1 or 2 more games to play. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of options because I am still doing this from a laptop at the end of the day, and not a great laptop. Like, I'm still shocked it can stream League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to try to keep it fresh. And
I mean, to be fair,
times.
League server proxy is kind of crap. Their client is really crappy, so you should be fine.
You can you can infamously run League on a toaster.
Oh, yeah.
You really could.
Wow.
Everyone does.
So that's kind of the goal of it. I just want to experience it, man. Like,
Sounds
and then I
cool.
think I'm gonna do a little review video. Like, hey, these are people who do a job. You say, oh, you're just getting paid to play video games. I could probably, as an outsider, be able to make a video and tell you guys, look, this isn't just playing video games. This is an actual job they're doing to entertain you.
That'll be cool. Actually, I can probably look into getting a stream friend on for that podcast. Actually, that'd be pretty dope.
Not even a podcast. Like, if we could get 1 or 2 streamers to like come in the stream while I'm just like randomly playing a game and let me like ask some questions and kind of talk about what they do, that would be pretty cool as well.
I could for sure let some people know about that.
Yeah, I think that'll be a cool experience.
All right. And then also, as far as our updates go, we are, well, just a note for you guys. Like I said, we have interviewed the head of retail and game at the Chicago Board Game Cafe, which is a place that is not open yet, but will be in January. So we're just letting you guys know that that is still going to be opening up in January in the Wicker Park neighborhood. So that's gonna be awesome. Can't wait for that to actually happen.
Are we
And
gonna?
yeah,
I think we're gonna do a video on that as well, and actually like show the entire place and
oh yeah, we're
maybe
gonna for
get
sure
something.
do a whole thing on that.
Yeah, I'm excited. That I feel like it's gonna be a little dangerous for that place to be open for me because it sounds like right up my alley
Hmm.
of board games and food, like really good food combined. And I don't know if I have the money to be addicted to that place.
I
That'd
mean,
be really
also
cool.
you could be the lo-fi girl who needs a place to study and just go there.
That too.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it's out of my way, but I would do it. I would sit there and like order food every couple hours and just be studying and playing games.
That'd
there
be
you
dope.
go.
Can't wait for that. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have as terms of updates right now. Nothing super big is going on right now. Other than like the streaming and everything, I think we're doing a really good job with just that. I actually I'm at a point now where I think I've done all of the videos that I had backlogged. So now I actually have to start actively thinking about new content to toss onto the YouTube channel. So I'm gonna actually start writing stuff like that down and planning that so I can
Cough,
start
cough,
making
polar
more,
bear plunge.
yeah, like stuff like that, or just making original content and stuff and just slanging that onto the YouTubes. So look forward to more content coming soon to the YouTube channel because I want to start planning stuff for that. So yeah, awesome. Now let's move on to all of our news topics for the week. All right, so first news topic of the day. Well, this isn't more like a news topic. This is more just me and Connor gushing about how much we like Hearthstone Battlegrounds and League of Legends Teamfight Tactics. Because honestly, we've been pretty heavy into both of these games over the last like 7 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, about the last week.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what Hearthstone Battlegrounds is, it is Hearthstone's version of an auto battler. So they announced it um, back during BlizzCon a couple weeks back, and now it's currently quote unquote in beta. So there's a couple things that are broken about it, a couple things that can be adjusted. It's not officially an open season yet, but you can just play it if you have the game downloaded and jump into some games. It's basically 8 players jumping into an arena, and then you get to choose a random hero. So you get to choose from 2, and then everyone else gets to choose. And then there's just a big pool, and then you're tossed into a tavern where you get 3 different cards you can choose from, and then you can start
At the
building
start.
your own deck at the beginning. And every new card you get is worth like 3 gold flat, and then you can also level up your tavern to get stronger cards, and you're basically trying to build a deck actively as the game goes on to basically overtake everyone else that's playing. So if you're used to games like Teamfight Tactics or Auto Chess or anything like it in general, it's just a card version of that. So it's really fun. It's my first time playing any type of auto battler type of game.
Same
It's
actually.
really easy to get into with Hearthstone, I'd say, since Hearthstone's such an easy game to play.
And because it
Um,
costs nothing, like they give
yeah,
you all the cards, you don't have to invest in the packs, you don't have to look at decks, you just kind of play it and try it. It's like super easy to get into.
yeah, the tutorial's really there's a whole tutorial in there too, so it actually breaks down everything for you. Um like for me with Hearthstone, I have this like relationship with it where I don't want to commit money to Hearthstone like Connor does because the amount of time for me that it takes to make decks and also adjust to the meta and everything. It's not something for me, so I like to do like tavern brawls where they give you cards to play with. And also this is a good mode too because like I said, they just give you cards and say figure it out, adjust, adapt, and beat people's ass. So I really like this mode.
Same.
Yeah.
Uh, and I guess my one complaint with it, and this is just me as a player, is I almost feel like it's a little too easy. Like it's great for everyone to get into, but you get the feeling of like doing the same thing over and over again after a while. It loses
Yeah.
its charms. Like I still hop on once in a while because it's for me personally it's easy to get a couple wins and get the gold I need to like just keep saving up for packs once the new set comes out. But I think it just needs a little more to it. Whether that be like monthly updates with new cards, whether that be like every couple months completely changing all the cards in it to something different. I don't know, but I think it doesn't have a long shelf life.
Yeah, it is super new in development. It's still in
Yeah.
beta, so they're probably taking a lot of player feedback. And
Oh,
yeah, like as of right now, there's maybe like 4 or 5 actual races in the game itself. So there's like Murlocs, there's demons, there's beasts, and then there's mechs, and then there's the neutral cards. And finding the synergy with all of those different races to have cards that bounce off of each other pretty well and give each other buffs and things. It's like you can, after playing for maybe 3 hours total, you can figure out what cards are broken and which ones aren't. Like I can already tell at the beginning of a game, oh, I'm gonna need this card because this is gonna be broken late game. Or
yeah,
yeah, it's pretty easy to figure out how to adapt right now. It's just
yeah.
trying to get the more broken card up before everyone else can get it. So yeah, I like how easy it is to pick up on. So now it's just like, oh, you cheesed that faster than I could, so you got the win.
Now, let's talk about the polar opposite of Battlegrounds in terms of skill cap, which is teamfight tactics. I'm probably, at this point in the last 7 days, 20 hours into this game, and I got to tell you, it takes some
20
time to
hours?
understand. Yeah.
You started playing like 2-3 days ago.
Yeah.
I was like, it got quiet. I was like,
Yeah.
your point?
I was like, what are you talking about?
I might have only been sleeping about 4 or 5 hours the last couple of nights.
Wild. Okay.
Hey, buddy, it's like finals week, buddy. You better chill that out.
Yeah, I know. That's today's my last day of getting to play it till probably I go back to Texas.
That's fair.
Yeah, but it's because I got frustrated with it at first. I'm gonna be honest. Like my first 6 hours in the game, I wanted to quit because like it doesn't click. Nothing's clicking. I don't get the strategies. It feels like there's not enough information on the character sheets when you go to like look at them to understand how they work together. And like sure, in the left corner you have all the possibility combos on the UI for it and what those combos can do, but it doesn't explain the synergy between them all, right? And so I took a step back and I started watching videos of like top tier players doing their thing, and I looked at cheat sheets, and then slowly got into it. But it's unlike Battlegrounds where you can hop in and 3 hours in be like, I get it, I understand it, this is how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Teamfight Tactics is not like that. You got to spend some real time to get into it. But, and I said this earlier in the podcast, if you're a strategy lover, if you really like the idea of like, oh, this clicks and I can do this, 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 and this is the game to play. There's a lot of combos. There's certainly ones that work better than others, and there's certainly ones that are just awful, and you'll discover them. But I think that's half the fun is I don't feel like it's really about winning right now, but just playing with the combos of all the different characters and seeing what you can do. Can you make like a really broken, what they call Exodia type, where it's a 3-star with 2 top tier items on top of it?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you go for like 6 of one thing and 3 of the other? Or do you go 3-3? There's so many options to it. It feels like it won't get old because you can constantly change how you play on it.
Yeah, for sure. Like teamfight tactics, like the whole auto battler genre, I think really hit its peak. Well, I think teamfight came out like last year. Yeah, I think it came out like last year.
Has it really been out for a year?
It's
like
only been. It's on a season 2. It's technically on a season 2 right now. Yeah, so
it's not that old.
Yeah, it's super recent. But yeah, there's a whole lot that goes into it, especially for me, someone who recently got into League of Legends. Like I've mentioned this a couple times on multiple podcasts that we've had. I just started playing League maybe less than 3-4 months ago, and I remember I saw Teamfight Tactics on the menu, and they're just like, "Hey, you should try it out." And not knowing who the characters are for me
hurts.
is one thing that I'm like, who the hell are these people? Because with the cards, it's like, oh, it's a card and you can read the description, you can get it. But like with League, there's not only each individual character, and there's like 100+ characters in League. They all also have their own class denominations. Some have 2, some have 3 different classes, and they all synergize together. And there's economy you got to juggle. There's so much. And it's like, and also the items too. The items make things even worse. So there's so much you got to juggle.
Do you know about the map type? So whenever you like pop in originally and you see that first carousel, if you look down below, it shows a color of basically one of the elements of the dragons, and that can change your entire game because
There's
with
like
the that type synergy.
there's so much in this
It's so
game, so it can
crazy.
be very overwhelming. But like once you get to the base level, like oh okay, these characters go with these characters, these stack with these, and it's just run your little army into other people's stuff. It's pretty fun. Like I get it more than I did before, so I can enjoy it. I've come in like top 5 a couple times. I've come in top 3 maybe once or twice. Haven't
I
won
got
one
my
yet.
first place. I got my first win today, and it was the stupidest combo that I've seen. It was literally 6 of what's called light class, and then 1 tanky character. And what I found out about the light class is that what happens is whenever one of the other light characters dies, it heals all the other light characters for increments of, I think at 6, it's like 30% health, and gives them 25% attack speed for like 10 seconds.
Hmm.
So they just like, every time someone dies, it heals and buffs the rest of them.
Yeah, so you can just make broken combos. Like that's part of the fun with I guess these auto battler games is just figuring out what's cheese and what's not, and then just working with that if you can. And
Mm-hmm.
just every at the beginning of every game, you're like, I want to do this and ride it out and see if it works. Oh my god, it works. Okay, cool. We're gonna keep doing that. I know Jameer though, since he actually plays regularly Summoner's Rift and all that. I don't know if he's a big fan of it. He has his thoughts on it.
Nah, I'm good.
You're good.
No, it's not that like I dislike Teamfight Tactics. I do agree that it's a game where you gotta really be into like auto battlers to play it honestly, because initially when I play maps like Summoner's, if I play like stuff like Summoner's Rift, like Earth for example, like I will play Summoner's Rift because Summoner's Rift is like the centerfold of what League of Legends started as and what it was about. It's what it essentially was the driving force of it. Now,
Yeah.
of course, we had other modes like Twisted Tree Line. You have ARAM. You've got Earth. You've got a couple of other things, and then like I mean that's the other side of things. That, if you don't feel like playing a 5v5, I understand that you want something new. You want something refreshing. And it's a very good side entertainment thing if you're looking for a different type of way of thinking of how to win a game.
But
For
the
me,
Rift
that's
is where you reside. The Rift is
but
all you.
the rift is where I reside. It's because that's where I think that's where I play best,
Yeah.
and not because not thinking that I can't win in a game of Team Tactics. It's just a matter that like I'm not really. I never really understood the appeal of like auto fight games. Like I've never understood the and like for me, I treat auto fight games like the way I treat like turn based games, and I love turn based games because I love games like I play like open world games. Like I play like Persona. I played all of the old Final Fantasy games. Like a lot of that stuff was turn based, but like there's strategy. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's a lot of thought process behind it,
I
and
feel like you're kind of like how I am, where like I don't like I don't like having like whole control over a whole squad and let them do their own thing. I like actually being in control of one character, and then being able to do what I want to do.
well, yeah, and with that, it's not. I mean, that's not necessarily what I'm like going at. I do like that aspect too because that wasn't necessarily how I'm learning how to play games like that, and then like the whole team aspect of it is that like I don't have to focus so much when I'm on the Rift on the one thing because anything in the Rift can just change. Like you
Instantly.
look at it as if your team has the most kills, you're guaranteed to win. That's not true. You could be 27 to like 39 and still like you could be like 29 or 37 and still win the game.
They can flip it with like the dragons or the bear.
And not even just like you can flip with the dragons, you can flip it with tactics. You have teams that stall out for so long, or are just focusing on kills, but they're not focusing on the primary point of what is the goal of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just break the nexus, or your enemy team surrenders. And most of the time, the enemy team or your team will surrender because everyone's upset about not being able to make plays well. That is one of the main factors. It's like, who can out-toxic the other, or who can just, focus on getting to the end and watching everyone outplay. And, it's really just a mind game in, like, the Rift. And I think that's what's the best part about me playing the Rift. I don't see that much when you play, like, games like Earth or, like, anything like that. If I want a long, like, quick game, I can play ARAM, but, like, if I really want, like, a decisive game where I have to force myself to do things I don't want to do, then I will do that. I don't like an open, easy game where, like, the game comp as itself is telling me that, like, let's just have a hypothesis game. Does this strategy work? Okay, it didn't work, so now I lose. Let's do it again and again and again
Okay.
for hours on it. I can't do that. That would drive me like if I can't play a PC game like that because I don't like sitting at a computer that long.
Yeah. That's what's cool about I like how Riot though is starting to actually expand their horizons with different ways to interact with the League of Legends world. Like we got Wild
Mhm.
Rift coming out next year, so we got mobile version of League of Legends and console version coming out soon. Even Teamfight's coming to mobile, so that might
Well,
even
even
playing
like,
Teamfight on mobile might actually be a better way for some people to actually
and
play
honestly, I
Teamfight.
think that's where honestly that's what I was gonna say too. I think that to me, if Teamfight Tactics were a mobile game, I could understand that. That I could get as a regular like League in game for like PC. I get it too, but I'm also like, I don't
It's
really
not the
want
place
that
you
here.
want to play it.
It's not the place I will. I'd say yeah. It's like
Yeah, that's
basically
fair.
visually, it's not a place that I would see like playing it. Like now they're like, especially since like possibly next year League will be on console. That's going to be wild.
That's gonna be
That's
so
really wild
silly,
as
dude.
fuck.
That's
Is
gonna
that
be
coming to
so.
Switch?
It's gonna be on everything. They want it to
It's
be on
gonna be on
everything, mobile and everything.
God, controlling is gonna be weird,
so
not just
wild.
clicking to move.
Oh yeah, and you gotta. It's going to be very different. It's probably going to go through that same thing that
They have to
Flash-
rework literally every single character, and I don't even know if they said every single character is gonna be in Wild Rift. It's gonna be like
No, I
starting
don't.
League damn near all the way over, kinda.
Well, no, I think that what's going to end up happening probably is that they'll probably do it that way. They may not be able to put every single champion early on because of how big it is. If it's anything, they might do it the same way Smite has been doing it. Smite started off very small, but then like once it hit console, because it's an open arena, it's an open like 3D arena, you can see how that shift can change on like the actual game itself. But like I think for League, they have to take it very slow because they also have to see what works and what doesn't because they have over 100 models to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be
And that's
really
gonna
cool. I'm looking forward to that.
and it'll be really fun. And what'll probably end up happening is that they'll probably add everything else later along the way. So like when we ever get new champs in the Rift, probably get them in the Rift, and we'll probably get them later on in game, depending on what they are, what they do. It all
What's
depends on how.
gonna be weird to me? Sorry, what's gonna be weird to me in that is the economy and like the whole last hit system because I feel like how can you translate that into controls? You know?
Yeah.
Under
Well, you know, it's
controller.
gonna
There's some
it's gonna
games that play similar to League that use control sticks and they play just fine. So they're just gonna
Well,
have
it's
to
also
figure
gonna
out
like
how to make it work. Yeah.
it's gonna be really fuzzy because I was thinking about how like I do love that League is including the play of the game.
Oh yeah, they did
that,
say they're gonna have
that
highlights.
Overwatch is doing.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, I
so
love
after
that.
games
They said they were
over,
gonna
you
try
know,
to start doing like a little like kind of extra cosmetic type of stuff with when they have that
yeah,
come out.
and you can see it in some of it. It looks fun. That to me, I like. That's gonna be cool because they're like, they have like little replays of like what you did. They're
Is
like,
that on console or is that coming to the PC as well?
That's gonna be on console, dude.
Yes.
It won't be on PC because I don't think the game's gonna like have time to replay. You can save replays and just look back at them.
Yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, dude.
But no, I think that's a really great way to like shift off like PC to like how the game is, and it also it'll be really challenging because this time around you don't have you have a very different visual on how you can actually move around the Summoner Rift map because on PC you have the lock on, which locks on specifically
Oh yeah,
to your
like moving the
character's
camera around and etc.
and
Yeah.
then you have the open camera, and you can't do an open camera
And with
on
the
a console
system.
game.
Unless they
Yeah.
figure out some way to do it, like you
Yeah, and
can
so
click the stick and then you'll have unlocked camera or something.
yeah, and it's gonna be very interesting to see how that works out. Unless you switching back and forth, I mean, to each their own. I would love to see how Lee's gonna pull this off.
Well, because like if you have one stick for movement with lock-on system, what does the other stick do? Does it cycle through your bar?
That's when you use D-pad
Or-
probably.
Yeah.
Or does
something.
so
Or you'd have- or
D-pad
use
would
the-
probably be bar.
Or use the bumpers or something. I don't know, man. That's gonna
Honestly,
be a
the
whole thing.
second stick.
It's gonna be fun. That's the best part. I just want to see how I want to see how this is gonna start off because
Yeah.
Riot's been around for 10 years.
Now here's the next question: is it gonna be free to play or is it gonna have a?
It's gonna be free to play still.
It'll be free to play.
Okay. So no
Yeah.
physical copy, digital
No.
only.
No, because Smite is
Free to play.
it's-
All right.
It's only digital.
Well, we can talk about League and Riot for hours on
Hours,
end. That
yeah.
could be its own standalone show. But we gotta keep it moving with the
No, we
news.
don't.
Next up, Miku Expo is coming to Chicago, guys. So that's pretty dope.
Okay, I have
Jameer's
a
not
question.
talking, but he's the biggest closet Hatsune Miku fan I've ever met. I didn't know that
Mind your
until
business,
recently.
Shawty. I knew you was gonna.
Exposed. Expose him.
do you want to ask a question?
Yeah.
What's the draw?
No, Connor. He said yes. You can't ask the question.
I don't mean this to be offensive, but I'm just curious. What's the draw of
Oh no, it's
Vocaloid?
very offensive. It's very offensive.
Oh.
Oh, it's super offensive.
I've never seen it. Like, I've tried getting into Vocaloids because it's just hyped by so many people. I'm like, okay, they sing, that's cool, and they got some cool animatics and dance moves. Like, is there something I'm
It's
missing?
okay, Connor. You just don't like happiness, and that is okay.
Wow.
No one is judging you for that. You don't like seeing
David
cute
is judging the
anime
fuck out of you
girls
right now.
and sexy anime boys dancing and singing to you. It is okay. It's okay, boo boo.
This is
It's
concerning.
alright. But when I'm in the Aragon Ballroom on May 9th, 2020, with
At
my light
somebody's house
stick,
now. Don't come to my house. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm gonna be banging on your door. I'm gonna be banging on your door.
Don't
Boom,
come
boom,
to
boom,
my
boom.
door.
Yo, you coming? You coming? You know you're gonna
I'm
come.
good.
You're coming. You're coming.
Nah.
You're coming.
Nah.
Okay, I'm not showing you any of my recordings from the show either. Okay, that's okay.
I don't
All
want to
right.
see that.
Yeah, okay. You can't hide what's inside.
Whatever, dude.
Okay. But yeah,
So
to answer your question though, Connor, I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But like,
But is there something I'm missing? Is there more to it? Is there like a
I mean,
lore?
it's literally just
I
virtual
mean-
pop idols. That's all it is.
I mean,
Okay, so if you don't like the music, and you're not really gonna get more out of it.
let me put it in a better way because
Oh, here
David's
we go.
just being a dick. Let me put it into perspective. So essentially, if you really want to know, Vocaloid is a synthetic voice. It's basically they take these singers and they will tune, or as we like to call it, they will auto tune their voice, but they will add like musicality synthetic features to the actual aesthetics of their voice and their sound pitches, and then computerize them, and so that they can actually have downloaded disc banks. It's like putting a drive or adding a new feature into like Adobe, and it's a new parameter to add to something that you can make more of. It's basically
So
like a new
it's-
like.
It's
Go ahead.
essentially a musical genre.
Well, Vocaloid is it actually counts as a music genre. It actually is one.
Okay.
But like the actual system for it is in a disc. It's
I'm
actually
making
downloadable. You
Vocaloid
can
music
buy
as
it.
well.
You can buy it, upload it to any software sound system, and then make voice tracks with it using these audio pitches. So if you want to use like an auto-tuned voice or like a singer's voice, you would use that singer's voice and you would update and tune out the pitches and all the volumes and the vibratos and make your own BGM. So it's basically like GarageBand, like Logic Pro or Pro Tools. You just added a voice tool to
Okay,
like the
see,
list of things
I
you can
didn't
do.
know that. That's interesting to me.
Yeah,
There's
you
a-
can
there's
do
a-
that
just
you
like-
with your music minor degree. Yeah, there you go.
There's
Explain that shit.
a whole shut up. There's a whole science behind it. And like that is fascinating. That's amazing.
That is actually pretty cool.
But it blew up it basically blew up in like 2013, wild like August, and they basically will get different singers or different people each time, and they'll make animation characters and put those voices attached to those characters and then sell it.
Are you saying that Vocaloid blew up around 2013? Because I remember hearing about Miku and listening to all that back in like 2011, 10.
Same.
Yeah, it officially blew up in 13 because Miku the first song by like I think Rio Supercell was actually broadcasted live on air, and no one knew what it was in Tokyo. I think no one knew what it was, and everyone wanted to know what it was the same day because everyone was entranced by it. It was such a blow. It blew up like literally on the first day it came up.
Wow.
And Nico, it was when Nico Doga was like huge. It was still expanding. It was
Oh, I remember
ridiculous.
Nico. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically where like a lot, like you'll get a lot of Vocaloid producers and people who make the music. That's where Vocaloid got its start. It started in Nico Doga. Artists started using it and they started putting stuff on Nico Doga, and then was transferred Nico Doga to YouTube, and it started just paneling out like therefore people started building like their own production and audio tracks and started making albums off of that. And that's how you got the entire Vocaloid genre as a whole. That's why now you can find producers of Vocaloid on like practically Spotify, iTunes. You can find them anywhere. But like that to me is like the most important part about the genre. The voice itself is important because the voice has its own character, like illustrations. There are comic books for it. It's all been made so that you can idolize the character as a specific, but the real hero is the producers who make the music.
Which that to me is awesome.
I appreciate Jameer taking that side on this whole discussion because I'm on the weeb trash side of, man, these digital anime characters are so freaking hot, bro, and they sing good. I love the games, and they coming to Chicago, bro. I'm about to go to this concert, wave my light stick around, and buy that merch, boy. So. Which is honestly the way most people look at it. But Jameer bringing in that side of the technical aspect is literally the unsung heroes of the whole thing, because people forget that actual people make the Vocaloids music.
Yeah, and it's not like one company. It's like
individual people too.
Yeah, it's individual people. There are like each like producer, like I treat producers like their own bands because they do have to have other people come in and help them like do audio sounds for this, acoustics for that. Not every single one, not one person is working on the entire like show, and sometimes they do. Like, if you really want to know, a famous Lloyd producer is actually Teddy Lloyd.
Oh yeah,
and if you know Teddy Lloyd, you know him from a lot of
Panty and Stocking.
The Me video. You know him from Panty and Stocking. Yeah. You know him from a lot of things. And so like there's a lot of like Giga P. There's a few people. Like there are some famous artists out there who make some really good music, and then they fall under the Vocaloid genre because they don't actually do the audio. Like they don't do the lyrics in the actual singing. They have the software do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why to me Vocaloid producers are like the David Guettas of like the future.
Oh, that's okay.
Which also, correct me if I'm wrong, but Vocaloids are also the thing pushing holographic concerts, right?
Yes, they're actually the leading. They are the
huge
leading force in it because that was their way of saying, "Could we get away with it?" And they got away with it.
Yeah.
So now they keep it going.
Their tech is very, very fascinating.
I saw a YouTube video of it like 3 years ago, and I was just dumbfounded.
Dude, it literally looks like anime is real. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
It's fat. I love the tech. Like a whole actual band and DJ set behind a digital character. Like they're not there. It's insane.
You know what that means? We're this close to digital anime strip clubs.
Okay, you need to stop. We're moving on. Anyway, let's bring this back to PG land with Disney Plus. Let's talk about Disney Plus. Right at the hour mark. Okay, so
give me a minute.
So, if you've been living under a rock, you probably don't know that Disney Plus came out maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. And if you're a broke boy, you stop talking about Disney Plus after your 7-day subscription ended, but not me. I subscribed because honestly, it's a steal of a deal. And also, I had a lot of people I had to pay back with letting me use their streaming services. Shout out to Connor for that Crunchyroll subscription. Shout out to everyone that let me use their Netflix and their Hulu and et cetera, et cetera. We out here. We all eat. Anyway, what have you guys been like watching with Disney Plus? If you've been watching anything on Disney Plus,
I have been watching a dick ton. So I binged Recess and both the movies.
Recess? How many episodes is Recess, the whole series?
There's 3 seasons, and I think there's like 82 episodes between the 3 seasons.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Recess is long.
Recess is long as shit, but I loved it. I was living for it.
So it's crazy how many episodes you noticed that some of your old favorite cartoons were, because you only remember maybe about 20 of them.
Right.
They only played all the time, the same 25 episodes.
Right?
But then you realize there's so many episodes and actually story in some shows. Like, it's actually crazy
Yeah.
how many episodes these old cartoons had.
Remind me, Connor. Is it like I know it's. I think it's. I know it's around 82. Is it like Or is it like how they do Gumball, where it's like every
Yeah.
12-minute cuts?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
then
it
that's
is.
why. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah, that-
no. But it's 82. When I say episodes, I mean it's
30
82
episodes, 2 parts.
No. It's 80 episodes, 2 parts each.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. that's
So there's
what-
like technically
Oh,
there's
oh,
160 stories.
I mean, that's true. I mean, also
It's a lot, and I don't know the exact number. I could be overestimating, but it was a lot more than I was anticipating. But I still binged it because I loved Greases as
That's
a kid.
insane. I did not know that
And
show
then
was that long.
Instantly moved on to Phineas and Ferb.
That's true.
And I've also been like watching some movies. Oh, you know what's a series you shouldn't sleep on?
What?
You shouldn't sleep on The World Through the Eyes of Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I want to let that build.
Is beautiful.
Yeah?
It is 100% Jeff Goldblum, and if you don't know him as a person, you'll learn and you will fall in love with him. There's a reason Philadelphia has a day for him, because he's a beautiful, gorgeous man.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know too much about Jeff Goldblum myself, honestly, but I do know he's a great person, and I was thinking about watching the show to learn what all the hype is about. So, it seems like a show that I would. It's in my watch list. I was letting the episodes build.
It's also one of those series that it's kind of like it's a
You're
documentary
learning stuff,
series.
too.
Yeah, like I learned about the shoe world. Like I knew there was a huge world where there's conventions and there's a ton of money traded for all these Nike sneakers and everything, but I never knew the extent of it until I watched this, and it's insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's these conventions that like hundreds of $millions in cash is traded between people.
Whoa.
Just at this one convention.
Just with shoes?
Just with shoes. Just with shoes.
That makes sense. I believe that.
It's crazy. And it's like, what's funny is, so this summer and like into winter, I was working down on Michigan, and I was by the Nike store, and I remember coming in one day to work, I'm like, why are these people lined up? And I realized, there's
yeah,
something
when those
going on.
new
And
Jordans hit, yeah.
they were lined up the day before. I came
Yeah,
back
dude.
the next morning, and they were still in line.
Mm-hmm. That's the shoe life.
Holy crap.
It's real. It's legit.
But that's what I've been watching. I'm realize I'm taking up a lot of time, so you guys can
No,
go.
man, that's
Sorry.
good. Jameer, have you even had the opportunity to use that Disney Plus login I gave you?
Yes, actually, yeah. I actually have used it a few times.
What you been watching?
So, don't. Now, I'm going to say this now before, someone criticizes me on here. I've actually been watching Star Wars
Okay.
because I've never seen Star Wars.
That's understandable.
Yeah, and so.
I've never seen Harry Potter, so.
Oh, you're not missing much. But,
I thought I knew y'all. I feel betrayed right this moment.
You'll be alright. But basically, yeah.
That's
So Kevin.
You sound
has
far
been
away from
wanting-
your mic right now, by the way.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Oh, why? That's weird.
project.
Oh, I have my AirPods on and my phone's charging. Shit. Can you hear me now?
A bit better.
Okay. So
Still not.
basically, shit. What was it? Oh yeah. So Kevin has been wanting to actually show me all of the Star Wars movies for ages, and when Disney Plus came out, it was the perfect opportunity to do it. And so I have been trying to watch every single one in release order so that I can understand what the hell is going on. And
It's a lot.
honestly, it's a lot for me to it's not a lot for me to take in because I've only seen episodes 4 and 5. So episode 6, I might watch that tonight actually. Episode 6 has been is next on my list. And I mean, there's a lot of world stuff that I'm really curious about in Star Wars, but I'm also me being someone that studied it's really hard for me to be just to take it as it is and just let it go.
Oh, because
And-
you studied
because I studied all of this. Some of this that happens in
What,
stuff,
astrology
all that
stuff?
No,
No,
like
all of them.
action sequences
Oh,
and
okay.
things
Something
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah, I
Some
can.
of those, like, it's very funny to watch, and also there's some things I'm just like, no,
But you gotta
absolutely
remember the
not.
era. It's like
Yeah,
it's
and
changed
that's the
since
thing.
then.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I have to remember that, and I have to let it go. And it's just like, just take it as is.
So it's
Don't
like
make it
super
more than it is.
corny.
Some of it is, and some of it's very fun. It's very. I do like the dialogue for some of it. I will say that some parts I'm like, really,
So
but I'm also
genre
like,
changing.
yeah, and I mean, but like I see why it has such an effect on people. Like there are so many things where are just like, what the fuck, and I want to know, and I like get it. So I'm just like, I'm enthralled. I'm involved in it. I'm really happy about it. And
Yeah.
like 3 weeks, I'm gonna I'm actually one of my buddies. He does he does like he does stunt choreography. He does fight choreography. Actually
Nice.
doing a lightsaber workship.
Okay, I was about to
For
say
Ooh.
hours.
lightsaber choreography is dope.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
lightsaber workshop in like a couple of weeks. I think maybe 3 or 4 days before Christmas.
Hmm.
And so I actually RSVP to do that today for like $20.
Nice.
So that's gonna be great. And I know the guy because we work together, so he's
If
great.
you end up having a appreciation for the series by the time you're done, if you go to Disney World, they actually have that Star Wars park, and you can actually get
Yeah.
your own custom-made lightsaber and like this whole attraction. It's really really cool.
I
Like those
promised
I mean,
really
if
myself.
I
pro
can,
level ones.
Yeah.
if I can use it, if they can make it combat ready, I will gladly use it.
It is combat ready. That's okay. Okay, but I can talk about this because I'm in love with this thing, and I've always wanted to do it, and I'm making sure I get one when I go. So it's a combat ready saber. Like you can actually use it for stunts and things. But on top of that, it's not just you go in and like, oh hey, I want this part. Hey, I want this part. It's like an entire show.
Like a whole Jedi induction and
It's a
stuff.
whole Jedi induction. They have this actual machine that sits there and like magically puts it together for you when you pick all the parts. All the workers there will give you the lore, or not the workers, but the lightsaber creators will give you the lore of the different parts. Kind of, it's like choosing a wand um
At
at
Hogwarts.
at Hogwarts for Universal Studios.
Yeah.
It's an actual experience when you do it. It's not
It's
just you
really
buying an
magical.
item. Oh, I want to do it so
Okay.
bad. It's
I
so
like to
cool
do that
looking.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Life goals.
yeah.
if you won't be around, Connor. David, if you want to take the thing, I can send you a thing for the event.
Oh, for the
Yeah, I won't be
lightsaber thing?
around. Damn,
Yeah,
I would
it's
love to do that too.
yeah. He the RSVP's spots close on Friday.
You should do some video for that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a cool video.
Be a cool thing to do.
Yeah. Or I
Uh,
mean, you have yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna. I'll probably ask them to do a video recording for it when I do it because I always ask for like footage of things that I do.
Yeah.
So if I mean, yeah. I mean, if that's something you are like up to do, I'll send you a thing to the
That'd be cool.
for the event today.
Let's see. So
jealous.
the Star Wars you've been watching
I've
a
been
lot of.
watching
Oh yeah.
Star Wars. I do have a queue of things I need to look at. I was
Mike
actually
Q is massive.
really sad because I told you how first week's list because there's
Hmm.
some things I actually really wanted to see that weren't there yet, and so I'm just
Same.
waiting the time for it to just come in. Um, I did watch some of the X-Men stuff that was on there because I was
Like
really
the
happy
old
about
X-Men
that.
cartoons.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes on it.
I actually watched The Rescuers throughout the 70s one and the 90s one. I didn't know there was a
Nice.
20-year gap between those two movies.
Yeah, it's very huge.
Yeah.
So it's really noticeable too.
Yeah,
And then, like,
super noticeable.
I did take a little bit of a look at DuckTales because I actually haven't been able to see any of it. I do like it, and I also really appreciate this animation like style that's being used for DuckTales, and also for like the Mickey Mouse shorts, which are gold. Oh my god, there's so much.
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse shorts are OP.
The Mickey Mouse shorts are amazing, and I don't understand how they're not full length episodes.
I mean, I mean, it's like how the old cartoons, they weren't like full 30-minute things. They're all like 5 to 10 minute like shorts, depending on
Yeah,
how
and I
deep the
mean
story is.
yeah, and I do love that, and I think that like a part of a lot of that is missing in some things. I really do appreciate that those still exist. It's just very strange to like think about like how amazing those shorts are, but how like Mickey Mouse himself is not prominent in anything for Disney right now.
Yeah.
right?
I think
Honestly, the
that's
Mickey Mouse
very.
shorts are like all Mickey's really in, and that like encompasses Mickey perfectly. Um, yeah, but as Walt Disney just being, oh, it's Mickey Mouse and whatever. Mickey Mouse is only in those shorts.
Am I the only,
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who thinks that Kingdom Hearts made Mickey Mouse feel like a badass. Like, it changed my view as Mickey Mouse as a character.
Oh no, for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, in terms of like active wise, I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, it definitely did a good job. Kingdom Hearts definitely did a good job showing like Mickey as like the guy that's everywhere. And it's funny because in Kingdom Hearts, Mickey is everywhere. You don't see him often,
But he's
but when you
everywhere.
do see him, it's for an important reason, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
Like it's a very Disney trope to like not keep Mickey in like the spotlight.
Speaking of Mickey Mouse in the spotlight, and video games, Epic Mickey also brought in Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and apparently Oswald's gonna get his own shorts or something too on Disney Plus in 2020. I'm really hyped for that. That's going
Oh,
to be
that sounds.
amazing.
Is that the Ink game?
Epic Mickey, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't play that. That was on the Wii, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
recommend anyone checks out Epic Mickey. It's for the Wii. If you go to a GameStop and can find it pre-owned, it's literally $3. And it's actually a very good Mickey Mouse
Is it a
game.
platform?
It is a 3D platformer, yes.
Yeah,
It's
3D
actually
platformer.
pretty solid.
I don't
And
know
it
why it
has
is.
some pretty dark tones to it too. It's really legit.
I don't know why it is. I can't get into platformers. I've tried so many, and I just never really fully get into it.
It's
Feel
because you
diverse.
sold your soul to the card game strategy gods, man. You can't have both.
And JRPG.
Whoa, don't blame JRPG. That speaking of JRPGs, there are some good ones coming out.
Oh,
here.
I know. I know.
Very good one. So good.
But, as far
back on the Disney like Plus thing.
Yeah.
Like that's just been like the Mickey Mouse thing is like something that's been like really heavily on my list of things to like go through because I actually want to see all of them.
yeah, there's like a lot more than I remember too. Like I remember I was watching like season 1 and there was like 20 something, but now there's like damn near 70 something of them.
Well, it's also really good because they expanded a lot. To me, it's been like a very big expand. Like Connor mentioned earlier, like how like Kingdom Hearts did a really good job of making Mickey look a badass, but like it also expanded on Mickey as like a whole because I
Right?
never defined Mickey Mouse as like a personality of anything. Like I never thought of him as like he likes this, he likes that, he's known for this, he has these 3 common traits that like he always does, and if he doesn't do them, then it's against everything that he stands for. Like they're doing a very good job of like making him stand out, and I enjoy
The
that
shorts
so
are
much.
making you see Mickey Mouse is more than just like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
He's like he has a personality now.
I need to check those out.
He's not what I worry about for certain cartoons. He's not a caricature. He does
Right.
caricature things because that's how he started. But like storytelling overall has moved past the character tropes. They exist physically, but like the narrative, like storytelling for certain things, is very it's very over it's very I want to say it's very vaudeville in a sense that like it's over exaggerated, but like you get the actual statements about how characters are feeling about scenarios based off of how they respond to them, and it's starting to be very well thought out and very to the point versus where it's being drawn out where I'm like going through all these loops just to say one thing. And I think Disney's doing a good job with that. So whoever is on top of that, bless your heart.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually would like to hop on the user interface of Disney Plus, especially on the app.
Yeah, there's some stuff they can improve on for sure.
Right, like for example, I think they just updated it, or I could have been missing it. But like for the longest time of it being out, they didn't have Watch Recently.
Yeah, they added that maybe like a week and a half ago.
And I was like, from the get-go, I was annoyed by that because I'm like, I have to search every time I'm going to go back and watch this.
Yep.
Also, the biggest complaint I have about the UI is the through the decades section. Okay, I can get doing the side scrolling, and this is this is on the TV too. So in the through the decades, where you basically find everything that's created that they have for the era that it's in the decade.
Okay.
They have it as side scroll, about 5 titles at once, and then you have to scroll and you get more 5.
Oh, you wish it was
vertical?
vertical?
I wish it was vertical, and I wish that they did it categorically. here's why. The early decades, I can see doing the side scrolling. There's probably like 10 or 20 of them. But when you get into the 80s to the now, there's hundreds of titles constantly updating. It should get its own category where you can just like be vertical and have like 20 titles up at a
Or you
time.
could just scroll through it like Netflix. Yeah.
Especially for TV. Like, I could get pain.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I that's my, like, one big complaint with the service so far. Other than that,
I also realized recently there's no next episode. There's no straight up just fast like skip button. Like
Yeah.
if I wanted to go to the next episode mid episode, there's no like just next episode button. I have
You
to
have to
back
scroll
out,
to the
then
end.
click to the So
Yeah.
there's like that button's missing too.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, as far as UI goes, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's a streaming service, so like
Yeah.
there's not too much extra they can add really.
I know I wasn't looking for extra, but they still need to polish something.
Yeah, of course, for sure. As far as what I've been watching on Disney Plus, like I said earlier, I've been watching DuckTales. DuckTales is OP. Completely shits on the original DuckTales, and like how we were talking how Recess had so many episodes.
Yeah.
DuckTales had so many episodes, bro. Like I had the first season has like 50 episodes, and then there's another season that there's like 100+ episodes of DuckTales.
Is that like 50?
It was one of
like,
the biggest. It was one of the biggest shows of the '90s, in like early '90s. Well, actually, all of the '90s. Yeah, it was like one of the biggest shows. But I just didn't like it because I didn't really like Huey, Dewey, and Louie back then because they were just the same fucking
so much
kid
different
with
in this
three different
one, right?
colors. Scrooge was Scrooge. Webby was just a girl. Beakley was just old, and it was just so I didn't like it. The only thing I liked about it was the theme song. But new DuckTales. Ooh, new DuckTales is so damn good. Each Huey, Dewey, and Louie are individual characters. Scrooge has like backstory and lore. Webby is like an actual cool girl character now. Beakley has her own lore and backstory, which they actually go into. Donald's cool. Like the whole Duck family, they actually go deep into that, and that's a whole arc of the show in itself. Like they go into that and like certain episodes and stuff. Like I really like how with recent Disney cartoons, they actually they do good of having certain episodes that you can just watch standalone, but also they also have, if you watch them all the way through, characters develop, relationships get made, people get like better as people, and then also there's a whole storyline that gets dripped through the whole show. So like the first 24 episodes of the show, that's the first season. Like there's a whole thing happening throughout the whole show. And the last two episodes are like the season finale. It's really good. So yeah, I'd highly recommend anybody if you like action-based cartoons, mysteries, all that type of stuff. Really good comedy. Actually, I've laughed out loud at a good amount of the episode moments.
You sent us clips for too. I'm like, wild.
Yeah, that show is so good. One of my favorite Disney Channel shows. I never watched it when it was on TV because it was like they played the first episode, which is like an hour long, and then there was like a long break, and they only dripped out like 5 episodes, and then they just dripped them out slowly over the course of the year. And I was like, screw that, I'll just watch them and binge later. So now I can just watch them all together. So that's perfect. Yeah.
I think how cool it is how like constantly they're actually updating it. Like I remember going through the entirety of like the 90s and the 2000s and like looking through it, and then a week later went back and like, fuck, there's so much more.
Mm-hmm.
What? Like
still
they got all. Yeah. I know. I'm so excited. So excited. It's just there's so much content, and it's like being in a candy store when you're 5 and you just don't know where to start.
Yeah, dude. I've also been watching Goof Troop. I was never like a super huge Goofy fan as a kid. Like I did not watch like of course everyone loves the Goofy movies. Extremely Goofy movie and a Goofy movie. Best top tier animated movies.
Right. I love how you said the Goofy movies and then you specifically said the extremely Goofy movie. And then you said the Goofy movie as if you didn't say 2 and then 1.
Yeah.
Like this is the other thing. This is the other thing about like our generation. I think is crazy is that everyone knows the extreme Goofy movie because like, oh, he went to college, he was lit, Dad was there, Dad got a girlfriend, thank God. But then we never talk about. Then we go back and say, remember when Dad and I had that moment when we went to that concert together.
I
and
love
we
that. That's my
were on
favorite.
that.
I like. To be
And see,
honest,
like, and I
when
think
he
that's the funny.
swings in,
I think that's the funny thing is because like,
What are you saying? No one really talks about a Goofy movie?
no, actually, no one really does.
What are you talking
And
about? Lots of
I
people
will
talk
talk
about a
about
Goofy
that every
movie.
single day. Ain't nothing better than his freaking
my
fly
argument,
fishing dance.
my argument is that when it comes to the Goofy movie, everyone talks about that moment. The moment we're talking about right now, we talk about that moment.
The
We don't
concert?
talk about. Yes, we talk about the end of the movie.
Or you talk about the car scene when he's heating up a can of soup with a cigarette lighter, trying to spell out "I love you" in the can.
Yeah.
Yes, those are the only two things in that movie you talk about.
The
But I
possum,
guarantee
the
you,
possum
if
parts.
you
Or the
Yeah,
ask
no one
about,
talks
freaking
about
nightmare
that.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
yeah, see, you see all these wonderfully big moments in the first movie that we just completely overshadow, even though we know they exist. But we overshadow that with the second movie because for some reason everyone relates to the second movie
I
first,
actually haven't gone
which
back and watched the second movie in a while. Like, I feel like I would like it a
I've
lot
only seen
better.
the second movie once,
Yeah.
I've seen it
and
twice,
once for me was good enough because it gave me a new perspective of Goofy.
and it
It
gave
gave
you
me
disco.
gave me disco, and it also gave me a sense of what college would feel like, which not very far off. But it was like the first movie defined a lot of things about Goofy, and I think that that was just Goofy, man. It
You ever
literally
think
was
about
Goofy.
like I was thinking about this a couple days ago how like they put more character development into Goofy as a character
And
like
Mickey.
than Mickey. No, actually they put more effort into developing Donald and Goofy than they do Mickey Mouse.
They do.
Because
They really do.
yeah, because
Donald has all of DuckTales. Goofy had the Goofy movies in the Goof Troop, which like shows him his path as a father, and even like Pete, for example, how Pete is as a father, and like Mickey is just Mickey. He's just there with Minnie, and that's it.
I mean Mickey is also problematic. Like if I really had to define Mickey at the time when I would have first seen him, Mickey didn't have a definition of anything to me until like the House of Mouse.
Oh, and he actually like they gave him more of a personality than just
When
like
he ran the joint,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Mickey was the man.
I'm honestly surprised House of Mouse isn't on Disney Plus yet. They need to fix that.
I am livid. I'm just waiting. I'm like, guys, what are
I
you
honestly
doing?
want to binge that series because the shorts they actually had in House of Mouse were actually really good. Pretty quality stuff. Like they never really used that animation style for
Mhm.
shorts like they do with like the current Mickey Mouse shorts. They didn't use that enough from like that style of Mickey Mouse. They didn't use that enough that they could have.
So
Except for like the Three Musketeers movie. That's a really good animated movie. I love the Three
actually,
Musketeers.
do you mind if I sidetrack on? It's still Disney related, but there's something I was thinking of, and I should add. I am curious to see how all of the Disney contracts are going to work. There's a reason I bring this up. Okay, so Disney, we all know Disney XD, right? We grew up with that.
Okay.
A lot of shows on it. But I'm finding out the contracting for shows on Disney XD is really weird. And I'm going to use a specific example here. There was a show on Disney XD called Oban Star Racers.
I
Me and my
remember that.
sister
It was
loved that.
also
We
it was
watched it
also on
every
Jetix.
Thursday morning when it came out, and we watched the entirety of the series from episode 1 to the final episode in season 2. I have looked and I cannot find if it's coming to Disney Plus, and here's why. Because it's not a Disney original. It's
No, it's not.
actually it's from this French animation. Disney bought the rights for dubbing and showing in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
So
like
Because
people.
Connor, it's because it wasn't a Disney original, and it also didn't premiere on Disney
Yeah,
when it came to the
it was on
States. It was
Jetix, yeah.
on Jetix. It was on Jetix TV.
Which was kind of Disney XD, but also was more like just a channel that Disney kind of shared to have like more actiony shows for like quote unquote the preteen boys, the teenage
Yeah,
boys to
Damn,
because
it
watch for the more action packed
sucks.
cartoons.
it's
Because that's where
also
Super Robot Monkey, Super Hyper whatever Monkey Team
Oh,
Go,
I love that series.
Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Hyperforce Go.
Yeah.
There you go. It's also the channel that House of Mouse was on because it wasn't on Disney.
Yeah, it was on
It was not
Jetix
on.
first.
It was not.
So
on
I'm curious if they're going to try to buy out these contracts and do them, or if they're just going to keep it Disney originals.
They're probably gonna they're bringing over. They brought over Disney XD shows because DuckTales started on Disney XD, and I think it stays
But it's
on
also
Disney
a Disney
XD.
original.
Yeah, but also let's see what else. Do they actually have? I don't know, cause yeah, like Kick Buttowski. I think that's a Disney original. That was on
Kick
Disney XD.
Buttowski, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
I think
that is a Disney original.
I think you could maybe say what they might be working on that, cause like whatever just aired on their channels, they're probably gonna work on bringing over maybe.
The
So-
day I see that on Disney XD, I will play that every morning before I go to my office job. I will gladly sit there with my bowl of cereal for 35 minutes, sit here and watch the show because that was the bomb.
That's all you, dog.
That's all me, man. Like, what is it? If I had to take if you ever seen Kick Buttowski, it was that show that the impossible was impossible. It's like if you take something from it's like looking at Gumball and saying that
Oh God, I love Gumball.
if I can make it happen, it will happen somehow.
Can I tell you something about Gumball?
Sure.
That is a literal fever dream for me because I binged the series when I was sick this summer with 100 days. So I don't remember all of it, and it seems like a blur to me. But I watched the entire series.
Well, I will say one thing about Gumball, even though it isn't related. Gumball has this very fun thing that I enjoy because every episode is canon.
Oh yeah.
Every episode has a through line, and it continues on to the next episode. Nothing that family has done in Elmore goes away. They're on the episode "The World," where everything around them is falling apart, and
everything,
the entire town
every reference from every episode.
Every reference from every episode pops up, and one of my favorite things. It's the smallest bit in the episode before things go completely haywire. Is that his mom and the little sister go to City Hall to see how much they owe in damages to try to get this before it all completely blows to shit. The little cupcake old lady pulls out the drawer, and the drawer is just going all the way outside of City Hall. All the way outside City Hall. And when she gets to the end, his mom's like, "Oh my God, thank God, that's the end. Let's tally it up." No, that's not the end. That's only January. I cannot fathom. I laughed for about maybe 15 minutes because I was like, "Oh, God. That was beautiful."
Such a good show.
Especially since the writer for that show has that entire show based off of his family. I have a lot of questions for these European Cartoon Network writers. I have a lot of questions.
But yeah, man, Disney Plus is great. Disney cartoons are great. I can't wait to go and watch some more after we're done recording this podcast. But before that's done, we got one more topic we got to talk about. It's all been kind of resolved because the person's account is back, but the whole thing is not resolved because we're going to have this issue until the end of goddamn time. So, last week, there was a whole thing on Anna Twitter, which is basically abbreviated for Anime Twitter, where this user named Vanille, Vaeniel, she is a black girl who loves anime, and she was at a convention and she decided to cosplay Nezuko from Demon Slayer, right, Jameer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for those of you who haven't seen the show, really good show. I haven't seen the show. I need to watch the show. But everyone who has seen Nezuko knows who she is. She is not black, but that does not mean you cannot cosplay her. Obviously. So, this user, Vanille, she goes to the convention, posts like 3 pictures of herself in her awesome Nezuko cosplay, which is really good because she says it's her first time doing cosplay, kind of nervous. So she already disclaims she's nervous about putting this image on Twitter, but she just wants to show people how awesome she looks, because she does look awesome. So, I'm getting an echo from you, Jameer, I think.
Oh, sorry.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Echo?
Hi.
Echo. Okay, it's
There's
fine
no
now.
echo for me.
But yeah, so she goes to this convention, posts her picture, and then all of a sudden, all the racist anime fans pop up, and it's like they just come out of nowhere. So they're calling her all sorts of stuff. They're saying that her cosplay is wrong, and she should cosplay some black character instead. The character's not black; they're white. She's not. There are just like so many things that can be said to a person is terrible. That gets said to her, and then she basically makes her account private and she goes off the grid for like maybe 5 days. And in that time, Black Cosplay Twitter starts voicing their opinions on how effed up this whole thing is, how cosplay and race shouldn't even be an issue. Like, this is set in stone. That's the first thing everyone tells anybody when they want to start cosplaying. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, just don't change your skin color to match the character, just do the character. And Black Twitter, well, Black cosplayers have not had an issue with that because there are hardly any characters that match our skin colors. So we just do them and put our own spin on them, and it's totally okay. Like King Vader, for example, who is notoriously known for making his Hood Naruto, Hood My Hero Academia, Hood Cowboy Bebop videos that have gone viral. Everyone knows who
And
they
they're
are.
cool as
And
shit.
they're cool as shit, and he's cosplaying him as himself. He's not altering his skin. No one in his videos are alternating their skin to match the tone of a character, because you can tell who the character is by the outfit and the people they're with, and etc. You don't have to change your skin color to be in a cosplay. So, why is this still a thing? Why are people coming at this girl for cosplaying Nezuko and shutting her off the internet?
Can I tell my take on it?
Sure.
It's because with, and this is a problem on literally anything that involves a computer and the internet. It's the safety of being behind a keyboard. There's no one there that can do anything to you physically. So these entitled, I'm just gonna be rude and fair here. These entitled fucking dickwads think, oh, because I'm protected behind a computer and because I have the freedom of speech, I can tear down anyone I want. My opinion trumps their livelihood and their likes and their hobbies. And it's the fucking stupidest mentality to me. Where what happened in these people's lives that they had so little power that they come to this? You know? Like it baffles me just this amount of spreading of hate. Because I saw this cosplay. It was a good cosplay. She didn't buy any of the shit online, like base. Oh, this is the name of the costume, right? Let me buy it and purchase it. She sewed that shit together and made it herself. She shaped the wig. She colored the wig because the girl has multicolored hair.
Is this
And it just,
facted? She actually made this whole thing herself?
I'm all I. It looks to me because I went and looked. I can't say it's fact. Don't fact it.
Okay.
I will fact check this. But I also looked online and the quality of costumes for this cosplay was on a way lower level.
Okay.
So I feel like she put some real effort into this thing.
Mhm.
And for people to just come and degrade her and put her down is the dumbest, childish, weakest thing I have seen.
Thanks for that, Connor. That was good. That was good stuff.
Sorry, I know I got emotional, but
No,
like
that's a reason. It's
that
a
whole
reason
thing
to be
pissed me
emotional
off.
for sure. What about you, Jameer? What do you think about this? Being a
Um,
person who doesn't cosplay but wants to cosplay soon.
so like, yeah, I'm still debating on that actually. I've only ever watched cosplay like twice in my entire life, and I've never actually had a big like hard on to cosplay.
Mhm.
But I do find it's a very interesting like look at because of how I believe like a couple, not even just like her, like weeks ago, someone got in trouble for League of Legends cosplay actually of champion Pike. She actually did amazing. It was an amazing cosplay, and it I could not tell it was a girl until after she took all the makeup and stuff off. But I actually found out that this person got fired. Well, she got disqualified from the actual cosplay competition that she was in because she ended up doing blackface, where she actually colored her entire skin a darker skin tone,
Mm.
and to her it looked like a view of cosplay because it was her entire body that was darkened. So normally in certain cases where it's like if it's like blackface, I assume it's like the entire upper body, from the neck up, it's blackface, and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, how much of the character are we trying to project onto like the media aspect? From my viewpoint standard, that back at that, I thought it was kind of. I couldn't condone it though, because again, we're at a point where we can't condone people darkening their skin tones
Mm-hmm.
for like social commentary and like appeal. Like it's just not an okay thing.
Well, can I ask something on that then?
Mhm.
Is it social commentary when she's just doing it to admire the character she likes?
Well, no. This thing talking about current. I'm not talking about the current girl. I think that like in terms of like, because she was trying to win a competition, so that's different. And on a competitive basis, there are some things where I'm just like, I get it, which is why I can see where her mind was for it, but also because of the sort of community that we live in,
Yeah.
that sort of thing you can't really get away with anymore. I mean, if she did it in the early 2000s, she would probably get away with it.
But not in
She would
like the
probably
social climate we're in right now.
not,
Yeah.
not in that social climate right never get away with it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like everyone has an opinion about it because we can call you out on it.
Does that suck though? Like this might be the wrong opinion on it, but I feel like it's not as bad as racism, but it's just like this girl isn't trying to be mean. She's not trying to be racist. She's not trying to disenfranchise or
Well, yeah, and I'm not
disrespect.
saying that she is calling. I'm not talking about her using.
I know,
It's how
but
it can
we're
be
talking
taken
about
that
the
way.
specific.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
talking about her
where
specifically.
yeah, that's where a really big gray area is right now in the cosplay community, because it's like, oh, if my skin isn't the correct color for this character. Example, there was this one girl who tried to cosplay Garnet. She's white as hell, but she wanted to do Garnet and make it accurate. So she colored her skin to where it can look more like Garnet. And obviously Garnet's not black, but Garnet's
She's
black.
red.
So like, but
But
it's like she's literally like, from a standpoint of a character, you can like, if you imagine Garnet, yes, she's not black, but she is a black character. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
and she's
she
as
colored her
part.
skin to look more like Garnet's skin color. But I think when I saw it, I think it was like it was a little too it wasn't actually red, it was more actually like she made her skin like actually black, like an actual black person's skin color to try to match the Garnet make the Garnet cosplay. And everyone's like, I mean, like, come on now. Like,
Which to be really real, my only opinion about cosplay is that if you're gonna limit it to like skin tone, I mean, like if you're gonna limit it to like saying you can't do this, if you're gonna cosplay, you can't do this tone, then I think one thing I don't like about cosplay in general is that there's a lot of body shaming in it. There's a lot of like physique specifics that you have to focus on. Like, people not cosplay if they don't feel like they can physically look like the character.
yeah.
And sometimes people take on physicality as visual appearance
Of
too.
course,
Like
one
it's not even
thing
just like the.
I was gonna say, of course, one thing base level too. Like everyone says it, but then once you do it, it's a whole different thing. Because people, especially when you post your pictures of your cosplays on the internet, anyone can say anything, and it becomes a shit show. But of course, base level, you can cosplay anything you want. Doesn't matter what your body shape is. You can cosplay Superman and be like 260 pounds, not all muscle, right? You can cosplay, um, freaking a swimsuit version of a character and not have a super like really nice basic like model body. You can do what you want, cosplay who you want, be happy, do what you want. But of course, when you put pictures on the internet and then people have the option to be dicks and be rude to you, that's just what happens. But of course, the major consensus is that's not okay. Um, Everyone is able to cosplay who they want to, as long as it doesn't offend anybody and it doesn't yeah, as long as it doesn't offend anybody and push any certain boundaries, I guess.
this is why I like
Yeah.
cons so much, because I feel like at cons, and I will say I have a limited view on cons. I think I've gone up to about maybe 8 in my entire life, like total actually going. But there's so much more positivity there, especially with the cosplayers. Like I see, and, I'm not a but that's about it. But I just feel like people are less dicks at conventions, and
Of
that's
course,
kind
because
of
you
the point
can't
of
be
the
a dick in
convention.
person, or else you'll get mobbed.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Well,
he will
yeah,
get
and
straight
also
mobbed.
like the other thing is that like cosplays are like to me, cosplays are center motion of what conventions are for.
Yeah,
hmm
It's the center point. Like that is the point of a convention is that you can go and interact with people, idolize, love characters that they that affect their personal lives every single day, and like in some sort of shape or way. So it's like a lot of people have this very branded based image of those characters are like for them, and sometimes when they see people cosplaying characters that they like, and it's something there's just like criticism, or it's like it could be better than that, and maybe they might find something different. It's very harsh criticism. I think that like that's the 50-50 of being a cosplayer is that not everyone is going to like your cosplay, and like I realize like that's a very crude way of me handling that scenario, but that's just how I've looked at cosplay ever since I've seen people do it. I admire people that can do cosplay. I can also do cosplay. Also, that's an investment in time and sort of thing that I just don't emotionally see myself doing. Like right now, I would love to think, next year I talked about going to convention next year. I don't know which one to. Like I'm considering to do I might do a True Damage Echo cosplay for like a day
that'd be clean.
just to get like the idea and the motion of it to see what it's like because I think that would be fun. And that'd be like I would probably only a day if I did it just to see like what it's like from the eyes of a cosplayer. Like do I want to take endless photos with people? Like doing the other people justice? Am I happy with doing that? It's a very cosplaying is a very mental thing that I've seen that people are like who are dedicated and passionate to it, and you really just do it for self love and self care and self enjoy yourself. I
Yeah.
just don't see it. I don't see it as like I don't see it the way a lot of other people see it because I'm not understanding, but
hmm
I'm also like for like in terms of like girl who's like going through all this crap. I do feel bad for her because it wasn't she's done it. I do feel super bad for her, and I also get that like for colored people who do cosplay all the time, that's something that happens all the time. But now it's like if you're gonna bash people doing for being a character that's not their skin tone, then you don't get to cosplay characters who don't have that skin tone. Then
this is why I
Yeah.
want to go
I
to
mean,
Blurred.
and it's like a I say then you do.
hmm
Like if I can't be an Asian character, then you can't portray yourself as a black character. Like if we're gonna really do that, then you have to. It
But
just
do we
has to be
have
that
to
way.
do that? I know
No,
that's not.
Connor, we don't. Thing
But
is that we
that's
really
what's
don't.
happening. Is like
Yes, and this is what I'm saying, Connor, is that that's what's
that
happening, but
sucks.
that's what people are making a narrative out of, and that's what's going to do. And people don't like that, and people know that. Then people just have to stop doing it. We shouldn't have to be It shouldn't have to be a discussion that needs to be had because it just should not be,
It
and
shouldn't.
people know that. But the thing is that know that it shouldn't be and still make it a conversation is why it still happens. And I'm not saying that talking about it, but I'm saying that if you know that something is wrong and you say, yeah, it's wrong, but then you put a but after it, then you are adding to the problem.
Yeah.
Because as simplest terms, butts in an eraser, it erases anything before it.
Yeah. And
hmm
so that's basically how the cosplay community treats things. It's like, here are the ironies of it. This is what made it up to be what it is today. So fucking what? It needs to be changed. Let it go.
Yeah. I do like
It's
how
just, it's just a rule of thumb.
yeah, I like how when this girl did come back, like she did make her account public again after coming back from her like basically hiding from all the shaming and stuff like that. But she came back to a lot of really good positivity. Like a lot of black cosplayers started rallying for her, like I said, posting all their cosplays, being like, I wish someone would tell me I can't cosplay this character because I'm black. I wish someone would. And lots of really good cosplays were shared because of that too. And also, she came back to a lot of fan art. Like art Twitter saw that this was happening and people genuinely liked her cosplay and just made fan art of her and her Nezuko
Ooh, I want to
cosplay.
see that fan
And
art.
it's really cute. Like, just go to her profile. Like, it's all over there. She shared all of it. It's really well made. Like, that would be overwhelming
That's
for me to come back to all that positivity. Like, she was crying. She was so overwhelmed with joy after that, and that was like a heartwarming moment to see that negativity be countered with all that positivity. And that's when the good of the cosplay nerd community comes out after all that. But of course, there's still the scum of it that started the whole thing. But I mean, there's a lot more good than bad out there as far as stuff
I
like
will
this is concerned.
I will tell you this too. Like, I did have a discussion with someone else a couple of days ago about like the cosplay community, and one of the comments that was made was it's really funny if you look at like conventions that like are cosplay heavy, but like if you look at like a regular anime convention and you put it next to like a furry convention, for example, like the furry convention gets shamed the most because of what it represents and what it possibly could stand for, depending on
Okay.
behind it. But like no one in the furry community is toxic the way the actual anime like
From
cosplay
what we
community
know, but
is.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, they like the
Yeah,
furry
from
community
and
just exists, and everyone just shames them for
it's a
being.
very it is a very what you know basis. It is from a
Hmm.
very what you know basis. There are actual articles
There's a
about
lot of
people
super trash in there.
who like interview people who are in that community that like people may not even know about. But as a whole, none of them like actively like are racist towards each other, which
Yeah,
is kind
the
of
furry community
which
is super
is
chill.
actually is super chill. There are some things they are not chill about, but like in terms of like there is no group like there's no racism or like shaming of anything
Hmm.
there, and like until like the suits come off, it's different.
Yeah,
But like and
soups are
when it
on.
comes to
Everyone's
it,
pretty awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's pretty chill. It's like a
I've honestly wanted to go to one
I'm
and
going
just
to
like
one this week
experience it.
actually.
I wish I could go. Wait, what
oh my
day?
god.
There's Midwest Fur Fest in Rosemont from Thursday to Sunday. I was probably gonna go Thursday and maybe Friday.
It is. You pass, do you?
What?
Is it like? Do you need a pass for it?
You can honestly, you could just freaking walk this. Like, you can just go with no pass and just walk around the space.
Or
There's so many furries in one space, bro. It's so wild. It's
I want to
crazy.
go so bad, but it's just a timing issue because that
Yeah.
Friday I was gonna use to
I was gonna
scout
take lots of
study
video and stuff, and but it's like honestly
next year.
at the crux of it, there's not really too much going on. But it's like just seeing all those furries in one place is really cool. So
I
it's
just
something
want
to
to.
behold.
It's more of I've never talked to like a furry in a suit. Like I know
Super
I have
cool.
a
They're
couple
all
people.
really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. They just
it's
like to
Yeah.
dress up and have fun.
Yeah, dude. They
it's
just
just a
get
community.
shamed for existing, so they don't really get to talk shit about nobody. They just anytime a furry opens their mouth, they're like everyone's just like, "Shut up, furry!" And I was like, "Okay, whatever, okay."
Well, it's also wild too because you think about like I told you guys earlier, you can shame a furry all you man. The illustrations that those artists come up
Dude, furry
with
artists are actually very
are amazing.
wild.
My God, they
So
are
good.
probably like they probably know human anatomy better than I do,
Yeah, and they got to
and
do animals, and that's a whole different thing.
that's a whole different ballpark.
Yeah, dude,
Right.
it's amazing.
Like,
I have appreciation for that art.
But
all
yeah,
right,
man. Yeah. So that's pretty much the show. That's all that right there. See, we did it, guys. Just the three of us talking about stuff. We can do
yeah,
this.
fuck some other
See,
guys.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, that's our show for the week. Commentary podcast. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Like I said, I'm your host, David, and I've got Connor here,
Sup?
and I've got Jameer.
What up?
And thank you so much for listening. If you want to keep tabs on this talk show, on this podcast, we are on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're also on like a whole bunch of other podcasting services that I don't use, so I don't care. But they're on there too. Also, this
YouTube.
is going to be going up on YouTube as well, so you guys can listen to that in our sub box on YouTube. And like I said before, we're also on Twitch. If you like video games, we're streaming on there. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. All the awesome social media sites. And yeah, man, it's great
We
stuff.
also stream to YouTube if you.
And we're
on
starting
there.
to stream to YouTube now too. So if you want to catch us on YouTube, just hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's all we got for this week, guys. So until the next episode, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.